easy here for me. Let's begin.
Okay, what? Nothing about this is okay.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Well. Yo. The trio.
Someone, please. She about to roll him to death. You got a plastic war? That's your weapon?
Spiders. We have bigger enemies to conquer.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
We know we should hate you, Spider, but we are having trouble remembering why.
Really, Eddie? After all the times you've tried to ruin my life, I'm hurt.
I fear this time stream entanglement has left our memories in disarray.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't forget, securing the mission area is your top priority.
Like lambs to the
Mileage, but
slaughter.
feels like a long way from Wings.
Focus on the battle.
So much damage to do.
Oh, I need assistance. My anger is healthy. That's some vintage spider style. No bad.
Just what we needed.
No! Please don't go down this easy. Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Stranger summoned a portal.
Grow up. You done? Right You're halfway there. Keep going. Friends, gather around.
Time to feast. Darn it. Darn it, bro.
T'Challa awaits us.
We have returned.
Aren't you supposed to have a TV with you?
I'm doing this my
Or a
way.
recorder?
I'm doing this
Smack
my
you in the
way.
head.
Whoa.
Every people you killed. You can't change what's happened.
Bro, I gotta tank so much.
For
With
those who
Venom.
chose C, what the freak is wrong with it? Now, for the people that chose D, good job. Where was that energy in the attic?
Oh!
At the start of this video.
Time to feast. Time to feast.
Uh-oh. That was the Shadow Stone.
Friends, gather around. Look behind you.
Buddy! Spider. Yo, I'm not like that, buddy.
I need assistance.
Heal me, heal me.
Taking it back.
I said heals! Feast. Time to feast. Where did he go? Is he dead? Oh, Iron Man just went over here.
Somebody that got your identity, she could just start twerking in the streets and people think it's you. Oh my goodness, dude.
Don't let anything stand in your way. I found one of our critics.
Oh. Spin me out already. Spin me out.
That
This is your big chance.
is very strange.
Throw together.
This next one is called True Gas Station Horror Stories. Yeah, this is since what's like Kirk who said, hey, this game shivers down to spit. How reality works, hope to see this. Corey, I'm a really big fan and welcome back to YouTube. I hope to see you post more. I'll always support. Everybody clap that up. New llama arts design.
Another epic
Dude, I need a shirt.
One night last summer, two of my friends, Sam and Jake, convinced me to sneak out with them and drink. We were all bored, just looking for something to do. We decided to go for a walk to a local gas station that was open 24 hours a day. The walk there was pretty uneventful. We talked about random topics and drank a couple of beers. Once we got to the gas station, Jake had to use the bathroom. When he was in the bathroom, there was a dirty, sketchy guy in there. Jake struck up a conversation with this guy. It was pretty normal, except
How many of y'all go into a bathroom, see a dirty, sketchy guy in a corner, and then try and start a conversation with him? Why you got your Johnson out? Yo, if he run up on you like you only got one weapon, go into the bathroom.
the guy asked why he was out so late, and if he was by himself. Jake brushed it off as the guy was just trying to tell him to stay safe. We bought some snacks and we noticed the guy following
Pick
us
your
around
hero.
while he
Or
was
villain,
talking to
I'm not
someone on his
judging.
phone. We left soon after, and on the way back, we sat on the side of the road and talked for a while as we drank some more.
Bro.
It was pitch black by now because there are no street lights in the area.
Do you know the U.S. Solar Company's nasty little secret? It turns out if you live in Florida, they have to.
We saw a car coming down the road, which was no big deal. We sneak out pretty often.
Ba-da-la-la-la-la.
We've never had any real problems. Cars usually just drive by. This time was different.
It's Venom
The car
time.
spun around in the road and pulled up right
It's
next to us
Venom
on the street.
time.
Two guys got
It's time to stand up. You sitting outside, a car
30
pulls
seconds
up
before
in
you
front of
attack.
you and
Get
stop.
ready.
You're still sitting. Car stops in front of me immediately. I'm hitting my cigar. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. Bro, you're defenseless.
This time was different. The car spun around in the road and pulled up right next to us on the street, and two guys got out. We ditched the beers, got up, and sprinted down
The
the
battle
street.
starts in 5,
Jake and I hid behind an RV, while Sam hopped a fence.
1.
The two men
All you need
looked
to do is
dirty,
capture the
like they hadn't
missionary.
showered in
Got it?
days. We watched the two guys for a little while, which is when we noticed that one of them had a gun in his hand.
Oh,
They looked in our direction for a few minutes before they got back into their car and drove off. Jake and I looked for Sam, but we couldn't find him, so we decided to head back home. We thought we had lost them, but on the way back we turned a corner, and those same guys were sitting in the car, waiting there. We ran through the alleyways and backyards until we lost them. Every few minutes, we saw the car driving slowly down a street or alleyway in the distance, and we would hide. Eventually, we made it back, and Sam messaged to tell us that he got followed by a different car, but he made it home safe. It's been almost a year since that night. We're always more cautious when we go out. Sam still has nightmares about being abducted. I don't know for sure if the guy from the bathroom had anything to do with it, but we believe that he's somehow connected to it.
sneaking out. What the freak is wrong with you? You're drinking beer. What the freak is wrong with you? Get the Casamigos next time. With that said, guys, we're gonna get out of here. All right. Happy New Year, everyone. I know it wasn't a big part of year 2024, but I just want to say thank you for being here at the tail end of it, and hopefully we can make a lot of memories in 2025. Let's see if we can hit 100 uploads 2025, as well as do some other things, which you'll see when you see. And I love you all. Happy New Year. How do I end Spooky Scary Sundays? Do I just get up? Oh, this week you get an 8 out of 10. Everybody send better submissions for next week. I need 10s.
Your god is suffering.
The area's almost yours.
Guess my name is Curry Kenshin.
Us against the world.
We see you, the Debt Doubter. Nearly 2/3 of our CSU graduates finished their degree with zero debt.
Powering up. 30 seconds before you attack.
Hey
Get
guys,
ready.
if you have an awesome clip, you can submit it using the link in the description. Can't believe Custard managed to hold the point with 5 players on it.
Oh, great. You're jumping. You're doing great.
Gotta be present.
going? Where you going, lady?
This is how you perfectly use group walls and ult combo. Felix said, don't you ever try to motor in my game.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't forget, securing
Run.
Wait, the Hulk's getting crushed.
keep capturing me.
No way.
Keep going.
No way you go crush.
Oh! Blood, you're cookied. No, no, no.
Hellrose took their revenge on Jeff to a whole new level.
Yeah? I don't get it. Why is he calling my name and not saying that?
They opened it, they opened it. Got it, got it.
I'm good, I'm good.
Ace?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Nyan demonstrates how FPS impacts the abilities in this game.
Epic victory!
Someone stole all the kills on her team.
Enemy ahead of us. I got you. Enemy ahead of us. I got you.
I'm breaking the wall. I deflected it back to him. Oh.
This might be the most evil thing you can do in this game.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heroes capture the mission area. Got it?
be wary. No timeline exists where Magneto yields.
I have mutant powers and a little demonic magic too. Capture now.
Glasses does a big flank on the enemy team.
Just a demon pumpkin who can grow up to save the universe. Victory! Stay strong!
Everyone shut the
What are you, the ruler of a demon-filled netherworld as well?
The battle starts in 5,
lowest plays continue.
I actually can't believe that. You ate shit.
Oh! Okay, buddy. You want a magic like that? You wanna play magic like that, buddy? It's so over when I find you then.
When your DPS and tanks won't push the front lines, you've got to do it yourself.
I'm so glad it wasn't that magic, bro. Every time another magic sees a magic, bro, it's on site.
I just pat.
Buddy. Who hurt them? Who hurt these people? Bro, do you want to be publicly executed on spot?
You didn't know I was your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ too, huh? Hell. Come on, game. Oh my god.
Why is it only Jeff that get to be friends? The Heartland's gonna be buddies too.
I gotta protect my supports. Oh, you are done for if I catch you on the streets. If I catch you in real life, it's over.
Let's go!
Charge! Come, my minion! Double KO!
Mechanical arachnids are no more.
Better stop that vehicle!
When you die, but your squirrel still clutch it.
Oh! Wow. Where are you? Where are you? Where are they?
Bro's lagging digging so hard, it looks like he unlocked some time warping strats.
Why is Spider-Man just running in a circle up here? Spider-Man's a pacifist. Spider-Man is a pacifist. Spider-Man doesn't kill people. She pure chaosed all over me. Well, I guess the buggy internet kind of works.
You guys know that you can melee Doctor Strange through his shield.
Pulse charge. Fire.
Really, this dog doesn't know about it.
Oh, you're gonna take me down, aren't you? What did I get killed by?
Oh wait, are you portaling them out? Okay, wait.
Imp is new to the game and has no idea.
Spider-Man doesn't hurt people, is what bro's on about over there. Is that like his first time using?
Your life is pretty smart, but when it's time to eat,
Oh my god, I can't do anything around here.
brush your routine with Factor. Chef prepared
My
meals
kill
that
count
are
increases, but not my ace ability, apparently so.
One clip, Storm. Can we go? 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 Adam dead. Killed everybody. Adam. I killed Adam.
Oh, I'm out.
Venom dead. I just killed King everybody. Let's go.
Where is he? Where'd he go?
Too much even for the double support ultimate. Knight here coming back on fast heroes. Right, Amazing is here. Oh my, no way! What did Super Go make it like Amazing just do? I don't believe it.
Did he kidnap someone and bring them into the hunk and then?
Right like this is pure satisfaction.
Oh my god, double KO'd. And I'm not ace!
I'm stuck. Wait, I'm stuck.
How am I not ace? How? How?
My soul is stubborn.
I'll take a penta. Wait, give me the hexa.
Put on a show.
This is real firepower!
At the same time. Berserk's Winter Soldier with his ult, so he's in it for
Only
it.
60 seconds left. Only 60 seconds left.
No! No! I am the highest killer on the team. And this is what I have?
Down to 30 seconds. 30 seconds. It's Spider time!
Oh!
When teammates ask for heals without knowing the situation I'm in.
Final 10 seconds. Child! Stuck in their trap.
Oh, she didn't kill anyone with that.
I got you.
31! Wait. Wait! just gonna let her go by. We're just gonna let her go by because she can heal the whole team. We live in a world full of racism. I didn't look at the mini player for 2 seconds.
That was different. That wasn't like just a strictly 24-hour stream. That was something different. The last time we've done a 24.
Marvel Rivals.
So after doing a list of the top 20...
I'm trying a new marketing tactic. What do you think?
That's one way to tell people about Boost Mobile's new 5.
So after doing a list of the top 20 worst adapted heroes in the MCU, the comments overwhelmingly said you'd want to see a companion ranking of the worst adapted villains as well. So using the same system I used to rank the superheroes adapted,
we're gonna play Magneto.
I've rated every single Marvel supervillain who's been adapted from the comics into the Marvel Cinematic Universe by how well or poorly they were adapted. I call that system the 3 C's: costume, character,
Pick your
and
hero.
continuity.
Or
Costume
villain.
rates a
I'm not
character's
judging.
outfit or costume, their overall look, and their superficial physical characteristics. Character rates their personality, their relationships with others, and their powers or abilities. Continuity rates their origin story, their iconic moments, and their overall place in the world, universe, or so just like we were trying to figure out before, does adapting characters well even matter? Are these going to be villains as memorable as their comic counterparts, or are they just going to be absolute duds that everyone forgot about? Let's find out with the top 20 worst adapted villains in the MCU. And again, before we start, a character's ranking on this list has nothing to do with how good or bad of a character is. It's only how well or poorly they've been adapted in relation to others. So let's start our ranking with number 20, where we have Red Queen. In the movie, No Van Dyne is the daughter of Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, who carries on the mantle of the Wasp, fighting crime in the present day alongside her lover.
Yes!
In the comics, Hope is naughty. She's a psychotic villain in a future timeline. She feels the next generation of Avengers are disrespecting her father's legacy. She becomes the villain known as Red Queen to attack them, with a specific fixation on killing Scott Lang's daughter. Though I doubt most fans really care how Hope is adapted, she's from a totally different timeline.
I'm in the middle of a game.
Both versions of Hope have the Wasp's power to fly and break, and even have similar hairstyles. But one is a hero in the modern day who is dating Scott Lang, and the other is a villain in the future who is trying to straight up murder his daughter. That's enough weird, kinky multiverse stuff there to fuel a lot of fandom. At number 19, we have Baron Zemo. The comic version of Zemo is the son of a German World War II era villain who vows revenge on Captain America. He has a scarred face that is covered with and he's put together the Masters of Evil to face Cap's group. He's also disguised the Masters of Evil as a new superhero, to gain the world's trust for nefarious purposes. Meanwhile, the movie version is literally none of this. He's a Sokovian man whose family died while the Avengers fought Ultron. He blames the Avengers for their death and concocts a complex plan to pit the Avengers against each other and kill their team. So why is he this high on the list if he's so dissimilar? Well, there's a couple reasons. The first is that, like in the comics, he is a huge threat to Captain America and the Avengers, who concoct Machiavellian schemes to manipulate him. And the second is he wore his master to a second in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and said he was technically a Baron. It's not much, but for this list, it's still enough to rank this high. If in the Thunderbolts movie it reveals that he's secretly controlling the team from behind the scenes and gets his face scarred, he'll jump way high up on this list, and Iron Maiden can take her rightful place at number 2. At 18, we have the Shocker. Comic Shocker invented a pair of gauntlets that could make powerful vibrational shockwaves, and wears a suit that helps absorb those shockwaves. In the MCU, this classic Spider-Man villain is just some guy named Jim Crew who helps adapt himself as Megan. The Shocker is still, after all, only integrating the previous Shocker. And speaking of that previous Shocker, in the comics, Bryce is known as Lamont. He's an expert with the last
These characters in the game?
The MCU version of this character is not Southern and doesn't wear a cowboy hat or use a lasso. Also, he's just not the Shocker in comics. So why would they put him here? My guess is they looked at the Shocker's Wikipedia history and under aliases saw both Herman Schultz and Jackson Bryce and started writing a movie with no further research. Bryce did hold the Shocker identity for a bit in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon series. So I think the writers did the bare minimum learning about the source material and then had the audacity to mock people who actually care who the character is. powers are. Moving on. At 17, we have a villain I know everyone's waiting for. Taskmaster. Tony Masters has the ability to perfectly mimic any physical movement, allowing him to emulate the combat styles of all the greatest combatants in the world. He can also watch and intrinsically understand an opponent's fighting style, allowing him to...
We've almost got it.
He's a master of pretty much every weapon, after watching heroes like Hawkeye Swordsman or Captain America wield them, so he often carries a bow, sword, or his iconic sword. Not only is he a huge villain in the Marvel universe, due to his cool look, powers, competence, and personality, he's also a very, very well, the movie version of Taskmaster has a similar color scheme and the ability to mimic others' fighting techniques, but shares literally nothing else. And I mean nothing. The cloak, costume, and sculpture have all been replaced with a cheap-looking king. His entire characterization and personality has been replaced with basically no personality at all. Movie Taskmaster doesn't really... In fact, it turns out the movie version actually isn't even really a character. It's just being controlled by an entire character. Towards the end of the movie, we learn this isn't even Tony Masters. Taskmaster removes that helmet and is revealed to be a woman. Oh my god, what a twist! And not just any, but Antonia Drake, the daughter of General Drake. And apparently, Black Widow just straight up murdered her years ago.
Wow, wow. Hi.
Jeez, I know she said she had dragon her name.
Finish the game.
Anyways, turns out Antonio survived and her popping a chip in her head that controls her and lets her mimic other fighting techniques. Then he puts a helmet on her so her identity would be hidden during the marketing of this film.
Finish it.
Audiences would
Feed
be
him.
tricked into thinking
Alright.
Do something about that claw on ashes.
Great God of Thunder!
Alright.
Anyways, then number 16 we've got Crow from the Eternals. In the comics, the Celestials experimented their life on Earth to help shape what would become the They also created godlike beings called Turtles and monsters often called the Beasts. Human beings were created to hunt down apex predators on planets who would sterilize and grow on them and just raise them. Then the Eternals were made to hunt down the beings that failed. Crow is a being immortal. The comic version is sometimes a savior creature, an immortal figure that the earliest created. This is real! He faces against humanity and the Eternals, but has also been their ally. He looks relatively human, except for his big differences, while the movie version, by the admission of the movie's own director, is just a random Final Fantasy. Next up at number 15, we have the entire Wreckage from She-Hulk. Dirk Garthwaite had a crowbar he liked to use to connect crops, and one day, due to mistaken identity, it was imbued with immense magical power. He shares that power into objects held by 3 other criminals, and they become the supervillain group known as the Wreckers. During their many crimes, they fought nearly every superhero out there, including many very powerful ones like Thor and the frickin' Hulk. In the MCU, the Wrecking Crew appeared in She-Hulk Attorney at Law as 4 normal-sized guys who stole an Asgardian structure. Yes, their origin is they robbed an Asgardian. They're not imbued with any great. They were hired to steal stuff. They tried, but their attacks were support group and well, for one, Wrecker is a decent rat. He's a jerk who got empowered to be an even more dangerous. But more importantly, the Wrecking Crew in comics were powerful enough that they almost killed frickin' Hercules. The MCU version's stupid little weapons can't even knock She-Hulk back a bit. They cared so little about these guys, they didn't even bother to actually cast them. They just tossed whoever into the role. Look what they did to frickin' Thunderbolt. 2 of them literally aren't even casted. They're just literally unnamed extras. Next at 14 we have Nakia. In the MCU, Nakia is the love interest to Black Panther and one of his closest friends and
30 seconds
She
before
is
you
an agent
attack.
of Wakanda,
Get
and we
ready.
later learn has secretly birthed and is raising T'Challa's son after his throne. In the comics, Nakia certainly has romantic feelings for T'Challa, but the movies did leave out the part where those feelings take the form of a psychotic, murderous, and jealous woman. She felt spurned by T'Challa and has tried multiple times to murder his past and present lovers, including Smaug. She's worked with Killmonger and managed to fulfill her mad vendetta. Maybe though this adaptation is spot on, but we're just seeing how things would have gone if she reciprocated her feelings, and her insanity was
All you
kept
need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Anyhow, moving on at number 13, we've got Malekith the Accursed. Both versions of Malekith are dark, though Kit White is a strange color for dark in the movie. Both versions have a face that's half light and half dark, though in the comics he was born that way, while the movie version was scarred by Thor. And both versions lead an army of darkness to plunge the world into destruction. The main differences are the overall look, the personalities, and their motivations. Comic Malekith plays up the half and half look with a pretty cool outfit. The movie version looks like he's doing a bad war. Malekith is fairly charismatic and psychotic. Feels like an evil Fae and loves chaos. The movie version is fairly emotional and psychotic. He pretty much just wants to plunge the realm of the darkness to return existence to the time before.
Oh, baby.
The comic version is really like horror. Imagine the energy this crazy Joker of that was instead of likely one of the most forgotten major villains in the entire MCU.
What's up? Guys, we're going 5% on everything you like. Huh? On everything you like. Comprende? Oh, for the who?
You get a web and cash back like a pro with Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back?
Downy Free and Gentle. Softer clothes for skin's sake.
Well, we have, Darben. Comic Darben is a very small and underfunded character. He was a pre-gen over a lot of others, worked to assassinate the current and became joint ruler with another creature before being in the MCU house that Darben is Owen, and she took control of the Kree as the Supreme after Carol Danvers straight up killed the Kree and plunged their home on them. She uses a similar hammer to Ronan, and one of the
A cat who's fat. What a great name.
Planets of their water, air, and sun for her own planet. So similarities are she leads the Kree and is a Kree, and that's it. Just another in a line of names they grabbed in the costume. You know, if I was gonna grab a name for a villain of an entire movie, though, I'd grab something cooler and more memorable than Darben.
Goodbye, Thor.
At 11, we've
Thor's a
got
goner. Oh, the dagger went into save.
Incredibly physically powerful to advance daily with this newfound strength. Became the villain Titania. Eventually, she fell in love with fellow villain Absorbing Man and tried to go straight for a bit, but they both returned to life. In the MCU, not a silly old. None of these social media. There's a corporation called Titania Worldwide. So various beauty projects and such.
That Mantis is more focused on health. Good for him.
That leads to all kinds of shenanigans. Then she shows up at a wedding Jen's at, and they get in a drunken fight, and later she live streams Jen at a... You know what? Who cares? The writers didn't give a crap about Titania. Why should I give a crap about their tedious plot? Titania is a very cool villain, and one of the best female villains in Marvel. And how do they use her? They turn her into a stereotype of a heavy internet. Her similarities include she has a rivalry with... Well, in fact, how much blame and has... I guess kinda her hair color's a little bit the same too. I don't really know. Let's move on. And now we start the bottom 10 with Kazi the Kaz. Kazimierz Kazimierz is a creepy assassin who wears clown makeup while he kills people. Awesome. Can't wait to see that. Oh, no, sorry. In Hawkeye, he's just a regular guy who works for us and does not work for us. Well, this is just unforgivable, because that would have been a lot more memorable than just this regular criminal. Why even use that name? So similarities are his name, he's a criminal, and he's associated with the Saxon Mafia, and kinda faces high. And number 9 we have Scorpion. Mac Gargan was hired by J. Jonah Jameson to undergo an experimental procedure to give him scorpion-like strength, much like Spider-Man knows. The procedure quickly drives him towards an insane hatred for both J. Jonah and Spider-Man, and he's fought against him many times. In the MCU, he's a criminal with a scorpion tattoo on his neck. That's it. He tries to start a Sinister Six with Vulture, but is pretty much immediately shut down. I'd always assumed they tried to turn this guy into the comic version at some point, but it's been like 7 years and we haven't seen the dude. However, I'm sure the only thing that stopped Sony from developing a Scorpion hero solo is a fear test. For number 8, we come to Fire. Let's be upfront. I don't think anyone went into Iron Man 3 was pissed that firepower was formed. That don't mean he doesn't have a place. Comic Firepower is a man named Jack Tyler who works for the US Army and was given a powerful nexus to be able to stand against them. He eventually went rogue and became an outlaw. In the MCU, Taggart is one of the soldiers always killing and attacking his nanobots overload and he expands. So they're both ex-soldiers and are affiliated with them. He wasn't a big character since he died so quickly, so we'll move on. At 7 we have Ghost. Ghost is a man who developed a technology that allows him to become invisible or invisible. He's often hired to steal and sabotage very corporate technology. When the gun moves forward, he's also extremely paranoid and extremely doing all political and corporate secret tries to desire to allow it to be set. He's a master hacker as well, who almost never loses. The MCU version
Or we have lost our control.
They've got similar powers and they basically and that's about the end of that. Now you may think that Ava's father Elias is actually the villain always rise again. But no way. He's a scientist doing criminal experiments and his head is actually kinda extra. He'd rank so high on this list that it is a testament to how bad most MCU villains are adapted. Now we reach number 6 with Taserface. In Guardians 3, Taserface was relentlessly awful. And I mean, it is. But come on, rock. So let's not be too hard. In the MCU, he's a member of the Ravagers who betrayed Yondu and executed all so loyal to him, considering himself as the leader. In the comics, though, Taserface was actually an enemy of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the 31st century. He was a member of a species that calls himself the Stark, and used ancient technology created by Tony Stark and worshipped him as a leader. He wears a cyborg armor suit and eventually gives the name Taserface to go by Overkill. I prefer Taserface, though. Overkill is one of the most generic names. Anyway, movie or comic, you just gotta get yourself. And now, finally, here we are at the bottom 5 worst adapted villains in the MCU, and we start with another one everyone has been waiting for, the Mandarin. In the MCU, the Mandarin is... Wait, what's that? That wasn't the real Mandarin. Oh, okay. So, the real Mandarin was actually Aldrich Killian White. What's that? He's not the Mandarin either? Huh?
A Complete Unknown is now a Golden Globe and Critics' Choice nominee for Best Picture.
Bobby, what do you want to be?
Don't miss the movie critics are hailing pure cinematic magic. A Complete Unknown, now playing only in theaters. Rated R.
Oh, I see. All right. So, actually, it turns out after years that the real Mandarin is a What's that? He's not the Mandarin either? Oh, there is no Mandarin. It's just the name of a chicken dish? Oh, okay. Well, that's disappointing. So I guess this isn't the Mandarin. He's just some guy with the very cool villain name of Zhu Wenwu. Wow. The history of the Mandarin in the MCU is a convoluted character. They ruined poorly adapted. In the comics, the Mandarin was once a young man who lost his family and was forced from his home, and while wandering, came across the ruins of an ancient alien state. Using his immense intellect, he spent years learning the ship's technology and mastered the powers of 10 mysterious rings. Each ring imbued him with a different form of immense power, such as Mandarin rings, intensifying memory, beams of disintegration, and many others.
I'm in the middle of the game. I'm on the last part of it.
Anyone else that he did not allow. In Revenge Against the World, he returns and vows to become subject to the areas around the crash site and becoming so powerful the nearby government could not oppose him. Mandarin has trained his body to the point that he can endure nearly all physical Iron Man. So that's all pretty badass. What did the movie do with this guy who is not popular? Like in the comics, found 10 rings along but his rings aren't so easily. They don't have 10 separate powers, and they basically just allow him to do super things. They increase his strength, stamina, and durability, and he can shoot them out at people or do energy blasts. He can also make whips and launch himself into the air. All cool stuff, but why do this instead of the more creative and powerful version of the comics? Well, so Shang-Chi can inherit them later in the movie and also do super strength, of course. The guy's not a scientific genius. He does have a lot of powers. He lacks regal gap. Unnecessarily messing this guy up. We find the Mandarin dramatic. Why? Because he's Asian? Does he wear Chinese garb? Put him in a damn suit if you're so worried about him. I don't care. They become so weirdly fixated on some perceived racial problem that they've completely blinded themselves to what makes this guy so cool. The costume and names don't matter that and I don't want to be lectured about race, but the people who thought they could just swap Shang-Chi's father from Fu Manchu to the friggin' Mandarin, and it wouldn't matter because they're all just Asian. I respect this possibility. We just see him as a couple of super efficient traits. Move on. Many people thought the Mandarin was number one in this list, but there are 4 villains even lower.
Oh, whoa. I fought way too hard in there.
Now serves Ammon. With Ammon's power, he was a cult dedicated to reviving the Dark Knight and bringing his brutal judgment. Well, hell yeah, sounds pretty cool.
This is the most tight match I've ever played.
From one issue of Moon Knight, who who is performing experiments on unwilling people. All right, well, I mean, I can't even really be mad about this. I guess they really like the name, so they tossed it on this.
Don't mess with the Amazing Spider-Man!
But if you're hired to make a Moon Knight show that uses an actual Moon Knight villain as the antagonist, is that crazy? Am I asking too much here? Alright, whatever. Moving on. Now starting the bottom three with Flag Smasher. Flag Smasher in the comics is Carl Morgan. He believes that countries are the root of all evil, and so form these terrorist organizations ultimately and wage war against all nationalist symbols and institutions. Alright?
The game's almost over.
Costume,
It's almost over, bro.
Patriotism? How did the MCU adapt? Well, they didn't. There's no character conflict. It's the name of an organization led by a young girl named Carly Morgan. What are the Flag Smashers' philosophies and goals? Well, that's not completely clear. By my understanding, they were a group of people who preferred how things were during the blip, half the population. When the Avengers brought everyone back to life, a lot of people were displaced from where they'd been living or something to that effect.
Homo superior reigns supreme? What?
There weren't enough people to really care. We only get glimpses of their ideologies. It's something about
Sam I Am has left the team voice chat.
sure if they even know. They claim things
Man,
were
that
better
was a
during the
match
war,
indeed.
much of the wasteland that was the blip, and don't like countries existing anymore or something to that effect, basically. So not as simple and clear as the comics ideology, but what about what really matters? The costume. The comic version actually has a pretty good design. So how did the MCU... Oh god, no, her costume sucks. She just wears a really lame looking mask with a red handprint. And it's not even unique to her. All the Flag Smashers wear this ugly thing.
Let's go.
It doesn't share one physical character.
Ooh la la. Alright, I'm back. I'm back, okay. I'm back.
Characteristic with the comic book.
Wait. Hero to zero, you know what I'm saying? Chat, this whole year has been crazy, bro. Alright, that should not have fallen. But it did. Alrighty. Man.
Version isn't even from the same country, doesn't have the same motivations, doesn't lead Ultimatum, and isn't specifically called Flag Smash. Well,
think about the best night's sleep you've ever had. At Tempur-Pedic, we're dedicated to helping you sleep like that, with solutions that help relieve pressure, aches, and pains, keep you cool, even automatically respond to snoring for deep, undisturbed rest.
The right heroes can make all the difference.
what do we expect when we're this low on this? So, let's do it. At number 2, we arrive at Kraglin from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now remember, a character's placement on this list is not a condemnation of them as a character, but just an honest assessment of their adaptational accuracy. And as an adaptation, Kraglin is one of the absolute worst of the worst. I don't even know that we can call it an adaptation. In the movies, Kraglin is one of the Ravagers working under Yondu, who inherited Yondu's fin and has become a full-fledged Guardian of the Galaxy under Rocket's new grip. Comic Kraglin is not anything. He was part of a group of aliens in the 60s who wore full-body suits and came to Earth from Chitauri 3 to see if it was suitable for invasion. Ant-Man and Wasp scared them right off. And that's it. Just that one issue. I'll just assume his name was grabbed out of a hat of Marvel alien names and tossed on this completely unrelated original set. The next time he pops up in comics is after the Guardians movie has come out, and he doesn't seem anything like the one from that one Ant-Man. In fact, everyone online seems to assume this is the same character. As far as I'm aware, we don't actually have any evidence. Could this be two guys with the same name? He's an alien in a spaceship and is at first a villain. That's the comparison. So, now, here we are. The number 1 most poorly adapted villain in the entire MCU is Bombshell. Who the hell is Bombshell? Well, simple. She's a villain who responds. Eventually, she joins the Death Squad, a group of other villains who all juggle very well. She appears as a Hawkeye swinging story, but not as a villain. Also, she's president, or use bombs, or juggle. She's a cop, Hawkeye meets, who is also a live-action role player in her spare time. She meets Hawkeye when he's searching for the Ronin suit. Later, her and her LARPing team help him by going undercover at a dinner party and then dressed in their LARPing costumes to help evacuate civilians. Well, is her LARPing outfit at least inspired by the comic costume? No, it's just a generic fantasy costume. So what makes her the same character? Well, her name is Wendy Conrad. But come on, I mean, that's not a very maybe it's just a coincidence, right? No. She has a bag that clearly says Bombshell. So the writers fully intended this as an adaptation of that comic.
Ship-shape in no
Well,
time.
what about the other LARPing characters? Are they the other
This
members
man
of the
said ship shape. He said ship shape in no time.
Orville Bach, also known as Oddball on the team. This version also doesn't juggle well, and he doesn't even have a bag with his name on it. But the other 2 members, well, Grills is based on Hawkeye's neighbor in the comics, who got killed by Kazi the Clown from earlier, so no. And then Misty seems to be based on Silver. I've searched, but the only villain in Misty at Marvel I'm finding is Ghost Rider. No, it's like the writers wanted to name these guys after the Death Squad since Hawkeye fought them once, but got bored halfway through writing their names down and just gave up. And then completely forgot to even have a scene where they are casually juggling as a reference. She beats out Kraglin because at least he's an alien, so there's that similarity, and she beats Arthur Harrow and Flag Smasher because at least they're still villains. I don't really know what this is. I cannot understand this decision, especially to specifically make a prop bag with the name on it. It's more random than any characters I've ever seen adapted from the comics to the screen. I don't know what the hell this is or why it happened. Well, there we have it. A pretty anticlimactic ending, but that's pretty much how it feels to see a lot of these characters adapted anyway, so there you go. So what's your opinion after seeing this rating? Does it suggest anything about how villains should be adapted? Does it matter if they're even remotely close to the comic source material, or if they're even a villain at all? Is there a villain who deserves to be more than one of these characters in your opinion? Now the real question is, who in the heroes and the villains do I see? Or maybe a Sony Spider-Man shared universe film. Now does that I rank every villain from best to worst on the adaptation accuracy. So if you'd like to see that likely hours-long video, let me know. Let's hope that
Oh my god!
give us
Oh my god!
these guys. But, I mean, we all know that. If you want to see my reaction to that ability, just click that old subscribe and bell to see what I cover.
We're gonna group. We're gonna go group. Oh, I said we're gonna go group.
And until then, stay breezy or something. I don't know. See ya.
I'm done. I'm done. No.
When Iron Man hit the big screen in 2008, people were floored by how kick-ass it was. There's been a lot of duds out of Marvel recently, like Elektra and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, so many viewers didn't really expect this movie to be that much different. But Tony Stark was cool, badass, and interesting even before it. So Iron Man was a huge hit, and audiences left the theater satisfied with the new character and movie. Not all of them. There are those viewers who enjoy staying and watching the clips of the movie, others who appreciate how many people worked on it. Absorb what they just, wait, holy shit, is Samuel there? Wait, he's Nick Fury? Wait, Avengers Initiative? What the holy fucking shit? And boom, just like that, the MCU was born. Now you knew this wasn't just a one-off movie or self-contained Iron Man universe, like previous superhero adaptations had been. There've been a number of post-credit scenes in the past, but Iron Man's post-credit scene was a fucking mission statement. They wanted to take this movie and build it into a shared superhero cinematic universe. They'd planted a seed of what they were really envisioning, and they'd hidden it in a place where only the biggest nerds would follow it. When everyone else started hearing about this, it was exciting for them because it felt like they'd missed a whole important piece of the movie. If they'd shoved that sequence at the end of the movie, it would have felt like hiding it. And it made people who saw it feel like they were on the ground floor of something good. It made casual audiences start to imagine what the hell an Avengers could even mean, and it made it was a brilliant move. Now, if they stay to the end, they might get a glimpse of something else too. Tony Stark meeting up with General Ross at the end of Incredible Hulk.
No way, bro.
Going to be building for the Avengers, and to get the whole story, you'd have to watch it. And after that, it was full steam ahead towards their goal, and every post-credit scene formed a line, going directly from one film to the next to keep that hype train going. Iron Man 2's post-credit scene was
Well, it worked somehow. Somehow.
At the end of Captain America, it's all out on the hype for Avengers finally arriving, with Nick Fury reaching out to Cap in the modern day. Each of these post-credit scenes had a specific purpose of both hyping up the next movie and letting viewers know how these different characters were connected to the world. And they each gave a glimpse of what you were already excited to see without giving too much away. These little snippets of what was to come contributed to the hype that made Marvel
Kumbaya.
huge.
Kumbaya.
All those snippets finally came together and shared the screen.
Oh, you're cool.
Brought the world of the comics to life like never before. And after the excitement of Avengers, the credits roll. Just as audiences the movie starts up again, and we get a mid-credit scene where Thanos is revealed as the true threat behind Loki, and what would become known as the Infinity Saga was launched. Excitement was at an all-time high, and so much of it was due to these quick little scenes. And after all this excitement, they moved on. So they brilliantly subverted the post-credit scene.
We are undefeatable!
Gave you a moment to chuckle and laugh. Back when subversion was still moving, so after years of using post-credit scenes massively to hype up and connect the MCU, here's where things started to lose focus. For our first post-credit movie, we got Iron Man 3, the biggest hit. And then the previous post-credit scenes set up both Thor and the Avengers. And what do with that pivotal moment? It's a joke. Banner falls asleep on Tony's house. Yeah, I chuckled lightly when I first saw it, but it made the characters crossing over feel cheap. But whatever. Iron Man 3 didn't really care about the wider MCU. It just wanted to do its own thing and tell a Tony Stark story. Sure.
2024 has been a year of bright spots and dark moments.
But then the question I have to ask is, why even have a post-credit scene if you don't have anything to say? This would have been the perfect opportunity to just not have one and trick people into not expecting them. That would have been brilliant. Keep people on their toes from movie to movie so they wouldn't take the post-credit scene for granted. And if there was one, it would be surprising and exciting. Instead, when it's something like this, you just feel like you wasted your fucking time waiting around. Then we have Thor: The Dark World, where they name-drop the Infinity Stones and use the Collector to create hype for Guardians. But this is where it stops being a post-credit scene and becomes mid-credit scenes. You didn't need to wait and earn those special scenes anymore. They just handed them to you. And so they felt mundane, less valuable. You just go, alright, okay. Instead of the feeling of mystery and excitement of what could be. It worked with Thanos because it was completely unexpected. Here, it just feels like a commercial for the next movie. And the actual post-credit scene we have Jane and Thor kissing should have just been in the movie itself and really doesn't actually go anywhere. Alright. And it's the same with Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The movie ends and they just casually introduce Strucker and the Maximals. Your regular audience doesn't even know what this means or what movie this leads into, and you really don't get anything you're not immediately getting in the next movie. With Thor's hammer, you got the feeling of majesty of this legendary weapon removed from the context of Thor and Asgard and crashed down into this relatively grounded world. With Strucker, it just feels like you're seeing some guy with a monocle. Sure, Thanos was technically just some purple guy to a lot of viewers, but comic fans were freaking the fuck out about him so much that they did half the MCU's advertising for them. What comic fan saw Strucker and started telling everyone, bro, you gotta see my boy Strucker. She's gonna get lit when he comes into the MCU. Yeah, he's a good villain. Honestly, it probably would have been better to introduce Strucker and the twins in Avengers too. Like I said, it basically felt like the beginning of that movie anyways. Guardians of the Galaxy understood how people were feeling at the time. They didn't use the post-credit scene to set things up. They used it to expand the world with Cosmo and Howard Duck. Would Howard been as impactful if he was just in the movie? God no. But here he felt fun and unexpected. And the writers knew that only nerds would appreciate him, so they hit him at the end. People had started to become cynical of these thinly veiled advertisements, and Guardians understood that.
What?
They just had a little fun instead. Then our Strucker scene leads into Avengers: Age of Ultron, which had a credit scene that really didn't make any fucking sense. You'll do what yourself, Thanos? You had nothing to do with the plot of this movie, and nothing happening would have helped you get more stuff. But that's me. It was there to show Thanos grab the gun, which let people get a glimpse of what was coming. It may have been a little stupid, but it was fucking cool. And that's what really shows, because that's what hypes people. So, some of these scenes may be a bit awkward or stupid, but at this point they're all doing their job. Each post-credit scene leads to the next movie, and now all roads lead to infinity. Ant-Man has my most hated post-credit scene because it just plays a scene from Civil War that kind of spoils the movie a little bit. But that scene does let you know that you can continue Ant-Man's story there. Civil War shows Peter playing around with his costume. That leads to Spider-Man Homecoming. Doctor Strange comes in. His scene implies that he'll be a part of Thor Ragnarok, which turns out to be a glorified cameo, but it still does tell you what's there next. Thor Ragnarok's credit scene then shows a large ship of Persephone escaping as Artemis, which we learn leads directly right fucking off into infinity. And I think having this as a mid-credit scene was the right call here, because you want everyone to see it so they can know exactly where we're heading next. And then we'll go. The other scene in Civil War sets up Black Panther by showing Bucky go to 1,000 years. Black Panther then sets up Infinity by seeing that Bucky has been rehabilitated. Then we finally reach the end of the path leading to infinity, and we get a post-credit scene of Nick Fury being flipped away and sending an emergency signal to Captain Marvel, leading us right to our next movie. Both Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp then give us ominous post-credit scenes that set us right up into it, and we have finally made it to the culmination of 10 years of movies, and the hype is bigger, I think, than just about any movie that has ever been released. Some of these post-credit scenes I love, some I was indifferent towards, and some I outright loved. But the vast majority of them did their job. Very cleanly and simply led from one movie to the next, helping to shape the greater narrative and weaving all these scenes together to keep the hype going for a decade So you stay through the end credits of the first film after Endgame, Spider-Man: Far From Home. And what do you get? My God, Nick Fury and Maria Bailey from Skrulls? The real Nick Fury's on the space station building sword? He must know there's a big threat. Where could this be going? Does this lead to the next movie? Does this tie into the upcoming multiverse saga?
You're watching a toothbrush play Billie Eilish. But did you know that there's a YouTube Music app where you can also listen to the EDM version, the ska version, and of course, the original version? Get YouTube Music Premium.
Oh, my Wolverine.
This leads into the Marvel. 4 fucking years later. And it only ties into there was a space station in it and Nick Fury. Alright, Marvel's was delayed many times. Fuck-ups happen. I'm not going to be too hard on the 2020 because next up is our first official Phase 4 movie, Black Widow. In the post-credit scene, Yelena Bellanova is devastated to learn about her surrogate sister's death. Tessa Fontaine appears and gives her information that points to
I didn't die once.
Oh shit! What movie does this post-credit scene hype up and lead into? None. It leads to a Disney Plus exclusive Hawkeye streaming show. Oh, and not the running part of that. Couple scenes. Boring. Wow. Alright. They want to pimp out their new streaming service a bit. Whatever. Because now, here we are at Shang-Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings. Our first new character to lead a movie since Endgame. And they brought out all the stuff. Shang-Chi meets Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers, 2 of the biggest superhero heroes. And they tell him that those 10 rings are super ancient. And they're calling it something big. Here we go. It finally feels like it's time to plant the seeds for the next big break. What is this exciting post-credit scene lead into? Well, nothing. We don't know what those rings are called. We haven't seen
Bro,
some.
Hulk gotta be fun to play with, bro.
Very likely most people completely forgot about this. Well, okay. Next is Turner.
Oh.
We get a mid-
Confirm lift.
appears and is proclaimed Thanos' brother. Now, I personally felt curious about this in the Emperor. That's a character I never thought I'd see in the MCU. But as you may have noticed, I'm a fuck. I imagine most regular people just felt confused about why Thanos' brother is so
Ooh,
and probably got this
Ooh! Oh, I got saved.
Then we get a post-credit scene where it does no cosmic sword. Now, I know red line is blade, but regular people have no idea what the fuck is going on here. What is the point of these scenes? They don't drum up interest or intrigue, they're just fucking confusing. But whatever. I personally was still curious to see where the Star Wars was going. And the answer is nowhere yet. MCU post-credit scenes no longer leave Cleveland from they're just throwing out plots that were assumed at the time.
Whoa!
That's just insane. The Shang-Chi one could have been for Shang-Chi too. And again, I'm a fucking nerd. I think about this shit, read up on it all the fucking time. I have no idea what I'm doing. How the fuck is a regular watcher in real life possible? Like, really, I'm
The fact Hulk has like 2 separate flying moves, 2 separate projectiles.
That hasn't led anywhere. Thor, Love and Thunder has Hercules stayed out as their mid-credit scene to lead the way. 4, 5, Avengers. I don't know. But the more important source is Marvel Studios. It seems like they're just tossing whatever they can think of at wall. Any of it sticks. But now we get Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Quantumania. And they actually set up the multiverse saga by introducing their main.
No, come here, Groot. Come here.
was actually Multiverse Center. Instead of Pizza Papa, they could have done almost this exact scene, and I think people would have been more interested. They're just placing it in a random movie and just assuming people are going to see it for some reason. And then as our post-credit scene, we get another fucking tease for a streaming show, where they put their next big bad on the small screen again, and confuse audiences who don't watch these streaming shows by having some weird-ass...
I was forgetting how much fun it was to play with Hulk, bro.
And they knew they had problems. They knew that no one knew what the hell they were planning with this multiverse thing. So in the Marvels, they desperately shoved in this unfocused, tedious mess of a post-credit scene with Kelsey Grammer's Beast appearing. But he's not even the focus. It's Monica's mom and Binary or some shit. This is one of the worst ones because no one even watched this movie. And they've written themselves into connecting their plans to the multiverse thing to a movie no one cared about, and prematurely blown their X-Men multiverse cameo load on a post-credit scene most people probably just lazily looked up on YouTube if they even bothered. And where's this scene leading? Assumedly Avengers Secret Wars, which as of now isn't even fully written and won't release for another 3 fucking years at least. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 beat all these scenes by just having Peter Quill sit around, because now at least you know he's on Earth and he can just fly in whenever the plot needs him. If you don't know what you're planning, that's how you do an open-ended post-credit scene that people will actually kinda at least half remember. And that brings us to today. We've now had 30-some MCU films across 5 phases, and I think I can illustrate my point best by comparing how many post-credit scene plot threads were still left dangling at the end of each phase of the MCU. Phase 1. 1. Thanos, which makes sense. He's the overarching threat. Boom. Phase 2. 3. Thanos. Again, makes sense. Still the overarching threat. Then we have Hank Pym showing Hope Oaks, and that trailer at the end of Ant-Man. Besides the Thanos one, those threads are both continued very quickly in those movie sequels.
Pick your hero.
Good.
Or
Done.
villain.
Good.
I'm not judging.
Phase 3. 4. Mordo stealing magic from people, Adam Warlock being created, J. Jonah Jameson revealing Peter Parker's identity, and Nick Fury on a space station with Skrulls. Mordo was going to be touched upon in Doctor Strange too, but that scene got cut. While the other 3 were all closed off in upcoming scenes. So 3 phases and pretty much all open post-credit plot threads are cleared out or soon to be cleared. Sounds good. Now we get to phase 4. Now how many post-credit scenes introduce plot threads that did not resolve by the end of the phase? 7. 10 post or mid-credit scenes, 7 of them are not resolved by the end of phase 4. Contessa Fontaine recruiting Yelena. Something tracking Shang-Chi's rings. Starfix and Pym intercept the Eternals.
Yo!
Venom symbiote from the MCU. Blade whispers
You can't kill yourself!
Doctor Strange. Hercules and Zeus. Alright. But how many of those threads were resolved in later movies during phase 5? 0! They're all still open. And now we're in phase 5. Well, add in those 7 and toss 3 more in. The Council of Kang, Monica trapped in that other universe, and Ms. Marvel trying to set a young Avengers up with a not very young Davis. We've still got 2 more movies left in phase 5. Captain America, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts Asterisk. Besides the one with Yelena and Fontaine, none of these are going to be resolved in those 2 movies, and very likely they'll toss in 2 more. Not only counting, the reason for that is that most people don't even watch it. Anything set up in there is just live or most people
Okay, I was not paying attention well in there.
That's going to be a fucking mistake. The MCU completely lost the point of what they're supposed to do. Sure, when I listed these off, some sounded pretty interesting, and you might want to see where they're going. But be honest, how many of these did you actually remember before I listed them here? By the time the next Avengers even comes out, it will have been 5 fucking years since some of these post-credit scenes teased upcoming plotlines. How many people are likely to even remember the plot of Shang-Chi after 5 years, much less a stupid post-credit scene when nothing even happened?
Oh!
The MCU, the modern day, are not carefully crafted.
Where are you guys at?
They're just a wish list of ideas tossed in the air that you will try to desperately create some hype for the multiverse saga as they successfully did in the Infinity Saga. But they have completely lost what made those scenes work so well and create so much hype, and they are having the exact opposite effect now of making people see just how disorganized and lazy the modern MCU's marketing and world building is. Now you may ask, why did this happen? turn! Thunderbolts. Baron Zemo steps out of the shadows in full mask and says, "Oh, that was no Thunderbolts. Let's show them a Thunderbolts without the asterisk." And then something with, I don't know, Contessa and Nick Fury talking about that. Fantastic Four, Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom walks out to a whole council of Dr. Dooms, and he says something ominous about it's now Doomsday. This is me expecting the absolute lamest and laziest shit I could possibly. And it's very likely I'm still giving him too much credit based on what we've seen recently. Well, we'll see in a few years if Disney hasn't burned to the ground by then. Actual end of video. Haha, real post-credits.
30 seconds before you
Because
attack.
at the end of
Get
Avengers
ready.
Doomsday, Doctor Doom has taken the power of the Beyonder and is destroying all reality to reshape the multiverse in his image. All hope seems lost, and our heroes stand with the Watcher outside of reality and watch powerlessly as all they care for is destroyed. When suddenly,
We are in the right place for that.
Everyone who hates ads will be using this Chrome extension by 2025. I feel like I just found a
The
Google
battle
Sheets
starts in
Chrome
5,
extension for Pi
4,
and see how they
3, 2,
Spider-Man No Way Home is not a very
All
good
you need
film.
to do is capture the mission
Has
area.
received overwhelming
Got it?
praise as the breakout film for Phase 4, and while there are many good elements to this film, which we will discuss, I also would like to point out the many flaws it has in order to ensure that we do not lower our standards for what makes it a movie. Likewise, Spider-Man is a deep, complex character with a rich history, and his adaptation deserves no less than high standards. And with that in mind, let's begin. The film starts where the last one left off, but before we can get into the story, we need to address the film. No Way Home and Far From Home are so similar and easy to mix up for no good reason, and they're not particularly relevant to the films they represent. They only exist in their current forms because the creators behind it want home to always be referenced. Homecoming was the only clever one because that film actually ended with a homecoming scene, and it's relevant to going back to Marvel. These other two are just unnecessary and cheesy. And please just look to see the Home trilogy and stop with the
Why are they teaming up against me?
that he has been struggling to hide for years is being revealed to the entire world. On top of that, he is being framed for the murder of Mysterio, a perceived hero on the world stage. This is actually a pretty heavy note to start on, and it's a good way to get us hooked on some intense drama right out the gate, but it seems like relapse. What could be the groundwork for a dramatic set piece is replaced by Spider-Man and MJ performing goofs and gaffes as they try to escape a cartoonishly angry mob while seeing music playing in the background. I could understand if most people don't find this scene offensive in isolation, but in the context of a larger MCU that is drowning in over-the-top, tone-deafening comedy, this scene comes off as a lackluster way to start. I wish I could get seriously invested in these films, but they just don't want me to. Next, we see Spider-Man bring MJ to his apartment, where apparently Happy Hogan and Aunt May are having a relationship. Decided to involve them, and while that is happening, Peter runs around in his undies as he tries to protect the apartment from the person's mom. This is an over-the-top chaos being played for laughs. Peter and friends are then taken in by the police for questioning. A cop refers to MJ as Mrs. Jones Watson, but she renounces the name Watson and doesn't want to be referred to by it. So that begs the question, why call this girl MJ if she is not MJ? That is just annoying and confusing. Give her a different name if she's going to be a different character. More on this topic later. The game
Hey, Joe, T, oh,
Oh,
I thought it was Peter.
Here to share goofs and gas for laughs, but also to warn Peter and Happy of impending hardship in the future. Suddenly, a bird flies from Peter's window, and Matt Murdock exposes himself by catching the bird in the air and like, you know you're too good for Spider-Man. I'm sure he can handle a brick without you going off. But it's late to laugh, so whatever. Secret identities are just vessels for more jokes. They're only important if the film says so, otherwise turn off your brain and the first Iron Man film didn't have this issue. Tony Stark was a sarcastic, lifelike character, but he was still a character, mindful of the rules and tone of the larger.
I thought you said bored again.
He did his goofs and gaps and then told his friends, but when a life-threatening situation came up, the jokes were non-existent. I think most people would agree that Iron Man was one of the best films. Downey's Iron Man is arguably the most popular character to emerge from those movies. However, it seems that the higher-ups at Disney Marvel took the wrong note. I can only assume that they used this formula for future films, based on how they evolved over time. Robert Downey Jr. funny, Iron Man popular. Therefore, more funny equals more popular. Seriously, I'm not stressed how draining
Going into that whole fucking
I want to drill this point in hard because I want it abolished. It kills tone, it kills stakes, it kills immersion. Because of the looming mob, Peter and May decided to move in with Happy. Probably would have been a good idea from the start, but better late than never. Later that night, Peter FaceTimes MJ to tell the audience, I mean her, how great she is. Happy is also there, so we can laugh at him. And again, this film, like most MCU films, just beating us over the head with the comedy. It's as if it's insecure about its own ability to tell a good story, so it thinks that if we aren't laughing every second, then we will immediately get bored and we proceed with the movie. Just take a breath and calm down. And we just have an honest character moment with how the clown man dangling the giggles in the background. Happy aside, that piece is
Against the world, your team's captured
while
progress
Peter
has
explains
half
to
the
the great strength that if the master still has moments of levity that interfere with the then get up to get a cameo from Betty Grant, portrayed as a high school newscaster, where she gives the classic "Go Get 'em Tiger" line. How hard is it to make a look like Betty Grant? Judge, jury, executioner! How do you got this trick on the top? Or just get any actress and give her a name tag and call it a day. Some of you might argue, well, it's a different universe. You can't expect everything to be for that I say, multiverse of madness just give direct proof that you're wrong. And there's a lot to be said about that. Every time I see this version of Black Panther on screen, I have to fight the urge to not turn this movie off and put it on the wall. It makes an attempt at some awkward cringe humor. Good job, movie. I definitely cringed at that. We see Peter Parker and friends discuss their college plans on a rooftop, and then transitions to a montage of them getting rejected by every school, with the identity leak being attributed to the main child. By the way, this flash is still the worst.
Oh. I'm hunkering down.
Wants me to feel that way, but just because it's intentional doesn't mean it's a good thing. Ned and MJ accept the hand that they were dealt.
I'm hunkering down.
And that causes him to ignite the worst scene in this film. So strap in. This is going to take a while. Peter heads to the Sanctum Sanctorum, which was accidentally filled
I love running all over her.
funny, I guess, for the visual. It's really not clear why, but apparently it's too much for these great sorcerers to deal with. Strange and Wong show up to tell jokes, and to establish that Wong is the sorcerer supreme now. Why did the writers decide to do this? I have no idea, aside from a few theories. By the way, speaking of Wong, did you know this film portrayal resembles his comic self in almost no way at all? Traditionally, he's a bald martial artist that barely knows sorcery, with his main job essentially making him a servant to the Sanctum. Movie Wong resembles the Ancient One more than he does himself. In fact, he resembles the Ancient One more than the Ancient One. Anyway, time ago. Steven can flick a fireplace on, so why can't he get rid of the snow? It's not a big deal, but it's just annoying. It's like the writers do this stuff just to be annoying. And now we get to ridiculous Peter because his friend couldn't get into colleges they wanted. Ask Doctor Strange to reverse time, preventing from being president. Doctor Strange rejects this for obvious reasons, but then proposes a spell of fertility, and after getting permission from Wong, Doctor Strange immediately starts this powerful and high-risk spell without telling Peter the extremely important rules of how it works. Rules with cataclysmic ramifications that they don't discuss it or plan it out at all beforehand. Doctor Strange barely understands the rejecting second thoughts. Like, dude, maybe give this child an instruction manual before you warp his reality and make some of the decisions he makes emotional distress.
Oh, nah, I'm out. Oh, no, I said I'm out.
Idiot, why don't you just ask him what he wants out of the spell before you start? The scene is played out as if Peter is the one making mistakes, and the blame for its inevitable malfunction is on his hands. But Steven, the kid clearly did not understand what type of sorcery he was getting into, and you had full control of the situation. Your rash actions caused this mess, and now you're making a jackass of yourself trying to pass the blame onto this kid. Do the Marvel higher-ups just hate Doctor Strange and want us to hate him too? Peter isn't completely blameless though, because he won't shut up, even though Strange is making it very clear that he's talking to messing up himself. However, Strange, moron. He even has the gall to say, I told you not to do it.
Change my spell. You don't do that. I told you. That is why.
My man, are you for real? especially since this all started because
Man, I wanna hug this Luna Snow, bro. She's so nice.
that one problem that most American youth
I got shot at.
and of course, this is only made worse because apparently Peter didn't even try to call what the college is in an attempt to make them reconsider. This scene is played for laughs, but that doesn't stop it from being dumb. Grass being Hal is mad at Peter for, quote, not even trying to plead your face before you asked me to brainwash the entire world. Why didn't you ask him this beforehand, you dense bag of asswipe?
Look at that. Oh, I'm cooking.
Man, Doctor Strange is a loser. Peter gets kicked out.
Man, this kitchen is too big for
help with getting into his preferred college. They waste our time with more jokes. Then Peter searches for this important college woman in the middle of a highway because apparently that's easier than using a call or an email. Peter still wears his Iron Spider costume, and I have to say, these nanobot costumes are just terrible. They very clearly look like CGI. Not a huge problem, but it adds up. Peter miraculously finds what he's looking for on a busy New York highway near an airport. Even with Peter, not really sure how Spider-Man Peter does his awkward humor shit that Paul loves so much, but it gets interrupted by his extremely plot-convenient spider senses. I'll elaborate on that more later. Civilians all flee in terror, but college woman is conveniently trapped in her own car. Suddenly, Sam Raimi's Otto Octavius appears, looking almost exactly the same as when we last saw him. Doc Ock rants about his precious tritium machine, thinking that this Peter is the same as the one from his world. A fight begins, and man, I just can't help but to smile. However, the movie makes an attempt to ruin my fun by getting the conveniently trapped college woman conveniently wrapped up in the danger. They even show her finally getting out of her door, only to be further trapped by a concrete barrier, just in case anyone thought that they were trying to be subtle. Regardless, this fight scene is enjoyable. The film pays reverence to the classic Doc Ock, reminding us just how formidable he used to be. He even uses a similar fighting style as he did in his first appearance. Good job, movie. It really feels like Sam Raimi's Doc Ock was plucked straight from one movie and dropped into another. Peter struggles to fight Otto while protecting the college woman and is brought to his limits. Otto restrains him, and he is defeated. Thankfully, Iron Man saves Peter from the grave with his nanobot technology. It protects Peter from a fatal blow and somehow hacks into Otto's arms, gaining full control over them. Silly music plays while Peter has fun with Otto's arms, saving both himself and the college woman. Thank you, Iron Man. We would be helpless without heroes like you. College woman calls Peter a hero and vows to speak to the administration on his behalf. But instead of just accepting it, Peter says it's not about him for some reason. The implication is that he only wants to help his friends, but they were already included anyway, so he's just creating problems by virtue signaling. Let's recap the college woman. Peter personally knows someone that he can contact for getting in touch with her. Peter somehow finds her on this busy highway. Danger suddenly appears. She can't escape it. Peter is given the perfect opportunity to flex his heroism before her eyes. Then the college woman emasculates Doc Ock to his face before living happily ever after. Her entire involvement in this story is so contrived that it's conniption. Peter tries to question Doc Ock before his spidey senses go off again. Those senses would have been nice to have when that concrete pipe hit him earlier, but oh well.
Oh no, we're dealing with the main. We're dealing with one of them people.
Doctor Strange
People,
Peter and
lock
Otto
in.
Doc Ock suddenly gets imprisoned alongside the Lizard from the first Amazing Spider-Man film. He is a lot less exciting to see than the other films, but thankfully this film understands that and essentially reduces his role to a glorified cameo. And any enjoyment I had from that last scene is immediately squashed by the wildly irritating return of Doctor Strange. Peter's spider senses block out and then gets scared by the Doctor.
Your favorite TV shows are on YouTube. Enjoy the latest releases. Get Paramount Plus, Stars, MGM Plus, and more. Find your favorite movies and TV on YouTube.
Because a silly scream is more important than consistency, Strange continues to pass the blame of his failures onto Peter and then confirms that the multiverse is real. Side note, Strange looks pretty beat up in this scene as he states that he found, fought, and captured the Lizard. Doesn't Strange typically deal with more than himself? Shouldn't the Lizard be a cakewalk? Strange also states that the spell mishap from earlier has caused all people to know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man in the
Kaboom stick. Kaboom stick. Kaboom stick. Oh. I don't want to be in a match if I have Iron Fist as the ace, bro.
And while I can understand that and go along with it to a degree, that does not protect this film from criticism, and it should still be called out when it has flaws. If we want Doctor Strange, the multiverse, and the MCU as a whole to be respected and narratively satisfying, then more reverence needs to be paid to these radically world-changing rules. Doctor Strange as a character suffers greatly from this movie and will continue to suffer. The multiverse will continue to borrow utility illogical nonsense, and it will drag the MCU down with it. As fun as this movie is, it is still a major failure. With that all said, he reiterates the phrase "every universe" just to remind us that the writers can lie and get away with it. They talk for a bit more, and Strange tasks Peter with finding his new crossover friends, while he finds a way to get them sent back to their respective worlds. With the risk of the fabric of reality being apart, or Wong finding out, being our ticking clock. Peter complains that more spider work might get him in trouble with MIT. And dude, you were just told that the fabric of reality is at risk. Are you really this stupid? Strange voice
Buddy.
web shooter, and we transition to the next scene with Peter recruiting MJ and Ned for help. The Sanctum is still covered in snow for some reason. Strange keeps blaming Peter for his own failure, and Ned foreshadows having wizard powers. Strange tells them to, quote,
Oh, yeah, I did.
do this shit.
Scour the internet. Scooby-Doo this shit.
MJ asks him to say please, and I feel like I'm watching children in daycare. However, MJ thankfully also acts as a voice of reason and calls out Doctor Strange for his own stupidity.
You're telling us what to do, even though with your spell, I got without meaning at all.
It's not much, but it's something. Thank you, MJ. The gang then gets set up for their mission. MJ and Ned say that they're fine with being on their path, but MJ wants Peter to tell them about his plans beforehand. Doc Ock comes in and asks Peter why does he suck at this? No. Peter answers him and then asks what Doc Ock is. He answers with Dr. Otto Octavius, and the three kids laugh at him because they think he's crazy. There's a lot of silly shit that the world is doing. I don't know why this thing is stupid.
I hate this dude.
Quick montage goes by, Doc Ock offers a brief summary of who Norman Osborn is, but states that he died years ago. This is actually a neat breakdown of one mad scientist from the perspective of another. Peter then sets off on his mission in a fantasy.
Time to let Iron Man cook. Season and bake around a little.
Peter wastes a great ball trying to catch him, but collects some foliage instead. There's a dust test cameo, and then the fight begins. Electro zaps the phone that was duct taped to Peter's chest, and it ends the Zoom call with MJ and Ned. Not sure why we really needed that in the first place, so whatever. Then Sandman steps in to give Peter an assist. Peter tries to explain that he's different from the Spider-Man that Sandman knows, so they agree to finish talking after the fight. This is a fun scenario. It makes me wonder what happened to Sandman after the events of the Spider-Man. Maybe after taking 2 days, he started using his powers for good, becoming a hero in his own right, and teaming up with Spider-Man again later. Let's see how this plays out. It's a short but interesting fight, but once it's over, Peter immediately takes his head off. My dude, have you learned nothing? I get that these guys already know their own Peters, but you could at least try to see some secrets. In this film, Sandman is always in sand form and never reverts to his normal human state. This is likely because Thomas Hayden Church was either too old or unavailable. Either way, it's pretty distracting and odd. If they can de-age the Terminator, then surely your Disney money should have no problem here. Electro, on the other hand, is a brand new human form, and my goodness, it's a blow-up. Even more, it's but we all know this is just damage control. The awful mess that was Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is a welcome change. Why are those like changes? Because he's less polite. Peter gives Electro some clothes and sends him off to prison. After witnessing this, Sandman gets weirdly aggressive and tries to fight Peter before being imprisoned himself. He maintains his aggressive, antagonistic personality because that is a sad way to live. There's a lot of room to explore and develop the character, especially when bouncing him off the other villains. Instead, they did nothing, only using him and the lizard as background noise. Why did they even bother to have him in this movie at all? Oh wait, the jangling Peters. It's also kinda odd that the bounty web didn't work on Electro.
Who needs rocket boosters when you got Kung Fu? Iron Man. Oh, I killed Iron Man. Oh, I'm out. I'm out. Healed, healed. I started punching his back because I was aggravated. Because Hulk was hulking. Hulk was hulking and bulking. I'm so glad I didn't play Penny Parker in this game, bro.
Shouldn't Spider-Man be the only one who knows? And Sandman's body is still distracting. Another very important detail pops up. Doc Ock states that the moment he crossed over to this universe was just after he was battling Spider-Man and grabbed him by the throat. We will come back to this. The rest of the villains all discuss each other's deaths before Doctor Strange returns and is business normal. Strange introduces the MacGuffin that will send everyone back home, but Peter protests that they need to help these villains first. Otherwise, they'll be sent to their deaths if they return. Strange says nah and quotes Ivan Drago.
If they die, they die.
Doctor Strange's demeanor here is remarkably unheroic for seemingly no good reason. Why is it so much trouble to just tickle the idea of helping these guys? If Doctor Strange would just cooperate and contribute, they would probably resolve this issue in little to no time at all. But more conflict equals better movie, right? Doesn't matter how logical it is, just as long as it's present. He starts up the MacGuffin, and this incites Peter to start a battle. But before we get into the action, I just have one question. Shouldn't the villains obtaining the knowledge of their own deaths be enough to change their fate? Food for thought. Anyway, Peter steals the MacGuffin and escapes, and Doctor Strange pursues him. It appears to be a hopeless battle, as we've all seen that Doctor Strange greatly outclasses Peter in terms of power. Doctor Strange performs the fancy trailer attack, but Peter's spider senses automatically protect the MacGuffin by themselves. It's maddening how inconsistent they are with this power. It's a very creative defense mechanism that the writers completely ignore until they write themselves into a corner. We can even vaguely see the classic Spider-Sense lines around his head. That's a fun Easter egg, I guess. Strange traps Peter in the mirror dimension, then Peter tries to talk things out.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
But Strange insists that they cannot change the villain's fate. Why does he think this way? Who knows? There is also apparently a hidden plot, as Strange states that if they don't fix things soon enough, then everyone in the infinite multiverse who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man will come to this reality eventually. This might matter more to me if it would make sense. Why do only a couple people cross over early? Why is there a break period until the rest arrive? How long will it take for the rest to arrive, and why will it take that long? It would really jack up Peter's plan if people would arrive at a consistent pace, wouldn't it? Oh, am I just supposed to turn my brain off and have fun? Okay. Let's continue. Strange gets the MacGuffin and is about to leave, but Peter is able to defeat him with the power of math. I'm not kidding.
4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
So let's break that down really quick. What does this mean? Well, Peter webs up a bunch of rocks in a circle. Then the camera cuts in very tight so we can't see what's happening. Then, for some reason, the rocks spiral around Doctor Strange, and webs randomly just appear on Doctor Strange's body, while he sits there and does nothing to stop it. Peter then steals Doctor Strange's sling ring and escapes through a portal that was conveniently left open just long enough for him to jump through and hand out a one-liner. This scene is very dumb. Not only should Doctor Strange have won this fight easily, but the film itself cheats so that Peter can win. Not only that, but this fight shouldn't have happened in the first place, because there's no reason why Doctor Strange can't just chill for a minute and figure Peter out. They just needed an excuse to remove Doctor Strange from the film, because this is supposed to be a Spider-Man movie. If Doctor Strange would have just been calm and reasonable, and just listened to Peter's plan, he could have prevented a lot of problems that happen later on in the film. Doctor Strange may have survived this fight, but this movie thoroughly assassinated his character. When has Peter ever used the power of math to win a fight before or after this situation? The riders just boxed themselves into a corner and cheated to get out of it. Peter then rubs it in by telling his friends that he totally beat Doctor Strange. There are other ways of removing Doctor Strange from the film without degrading his character like this. Just have some interdimensional villain appear for Strange to deal with for a while, causing him to entrust the success of his current mission to Spider-Man alone. A clever writer could even tie this new villain in with Multiverse of Madness, since that film was right around the corner, and it could serve as a moment of growth for Peter and Strange's relationship, since Strange would be forced to trust Peter despite their earlier drama, and it would give Peter even more pressure to succeed as to not let Strange down. But no, instead the writers make him look like a literal and metaphorical donut. Peter then tells the villains that he thinks he can save them by fixing what happened to them so they don't die fighting Spider-Man, while Norman chimes in to a meme, and there is a pause so that the audience will laugh. And then we go back to the story. The idea of Peter wanting to fix the villains in order to save them is an interesting but flawed premise. It's actually pretty random. Most of these villains don't know how they die, if they even do die at all, but more so than that, they don't know that getting fixed will save them. It's just an arbitrary change that may or may not make a difference. In Doc Ock's case, we, the audience, already know that this change will not work. Doc Ock already fixes himself seconds after he choked Peter in that last scene. To be fair, the film acknowledges the uncertainty of this, but why is this the plan that Peter sets out to accomplish? Is there no other way to more securely guarantee their safety? If anything, stripping their powers will just make them more defenseless and susceptible to danger. A simple fix is insufficient. You would definitely want to get their minds right, like in Doc Ock's case, but wouldn't you also want to help him bolster his power to help him survive what would normally be a self-sacrifice? But it's also not all-encompassing, because what works for Doc Ock will not work for the other villains. Take Sandman, for example. His mind is decent enough. He's pretty much just a normal, slightly angry man with sand powers. It's not even really clear if he dies at any point. If he did, it wouldn't be in a fight with Spider-Man, since they made peace. It's still unclear why Sandman was being difficult in this movie to begin with. Based on what he becomes in Spider-Man 3, it's actually safe to say that he doesn't really need any fixing. He's better off as he is now. Obviously, the characters in this movie don't have access to this information, but most people don't have that anyway. And what I mean when I say that is, aside from Goblin and Doc Ock, the fates of the others are as uncertain as any normal person. It's odd to assume that they would all die.
But they do, and they always will. Just because we're young, pretty, and female, like, shut up.
Without hesitation. Peter was able to cure Doc Ock in no time at all. If Strange would have just been chill and easy to work with, he probably could have just given Norman some sort of mystical therapy spell and just set those guys on their way within the hour. But if people act rationally here, we would have no movie. Something else to consider is that these three don't necessarily know that they're from the same universe. They just assume that they are because they look similar to their alternate selves. The fact that they're alive and talking to each other when two should be dead could be considered evidence that they're not actually from the same world. Point being that the characters in this movie jump to wild conclusions and they are hopelessly lacking in their understanding of the situation. So much so that it makes this cure plan seem completely arbitrary and pointless.
Stop thinking so much. Turn your brain off and enjoy the movie.
Fine, whatever. Let's get back on track. After some discussion, the villains decide to go along with the plan. The Lizard argues against getting help for no substantial reason, and Peter responds by saying, "I didn't know you could talk," which I actually thought was pretty funny, especially since it feels like all the Lizard scenes were made in post-production. The first phase of Peter's plan is to free all the villains from their prisons and keep them in Happy's apartment. Gee, what could go wrong here? Seriously, those guys are verifiably untrustworthy and villainous. Peter, what the hell are you doing? Is it too much trouble to treat them one at a time, or to conduct your work within the sanctum? Surely it'd be easier just to bring the Fabricator there, no? Bringing all these guys to the apartment is incredibly irresponsible and dangerous, and Peter is directly to blame for anything that goes wrong, because he should know better. Electro even threatens his life just after agreeing to his plan. Like, do you even need any more red flags than that? Peter even just leaves the Lizard in a truck outside, completely unsupervised. But this just serves as further evidence that the Lizard is not really important. There's even a very obvious ADR line to remind us that he exists.
I want to give up already, bro.
You could escape and go on a wild rampage the second.
Is it bad? This is like the worst team I've ever had.
All over the couch. My dude, stop being sand. You don't have to be sand. The tool Peter uses to conduct his cures for the villains is this Fabricator, which he describes as a device that can make pretty much any
finally a kill! Oh my god!
Because, duh, he is a supervillain. That's why you keep him locked up. He devises his plot with Sandman, which is odd, because Sandman, of all people, should want to go home the most to be with his daughter. He even says as much, but then he says he doesn't trust anyone. So I guess that's good enough to justify him escaping and severely hurting his chances of going home. Turn your brain off, right? Mr. Strawman, you realize that argument says a lot about you. Peter builds a
Yeah, he's gonna suck my soul out, right? Yeah, he's definitely gonna suck my soul out.
not to beat a dead horse, but this makes Doctor Strange look even more foolish. Once Doc is cured, he offers to help the others, and that is fun to see. It is nice when characters act rationally for a change. Now, I'm going to stop complaining for a while, because this next scene is actually very good. Peter's spider senses trigger seemingly out of nowhere, and there seems to be no explanation as to why. Perhaps Electro looks no good, maybe Lizard, or even JJJ. But no, Peter webs up Norman Osborn, or rather the Green Goblin. This scene is extremely effective, and builds up the Green Goblin to be the menacing threat that he rightfully should be. Just the mere presence of the Goblin persona alone should send Peter into a full-scale panic. Willem Dafoe also continues to perfectly nail his acting performance. He makes Norman and Goblin feel like two entirely different people. It's especially satisfying because it is subtle. Green Goblin is not as flashy as some of Spider-Man's other villains, but he is more of a threat because he knows how to get results. As a lifelong fan of these characters, it is incredibly satisfying to see both him and Doc Ock get the spotlights that they rightfully deserve, especially with all the other recent MCU projects being absolute dumpster fires. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. Let's reel it back into the scene. Green Goblin gives a chilling speech that radicalizes the other villains into making their escape, all except Doc Ock. It's unclear as to why Sandman would also go along with this, which is disappointing. The writers invested all of their time into perfecting Doc Ock and Green Goblin, and they just shafted Sandman hard. He is a villain just to be fun. Why not just scrap Sandman and introduce a new character from a universe we haven't seen? Less effort has to be put in to maintain consistency. One other thing that could make this scene better would be if the writers were more consistent with how Spider-Man
Oh, yay! But we still suck.
were laid out clearly and consistently, with them giving us clear examples of what does and does not trigger Spider-Man. Having a moment like this, where they get triggered seemingly out of nowhere, could be a huge payoff. But credit where credit is due, this is still a good moment. Just a reminder, an escape attempt was very predictable here, and Peter is an idiot for bringing all these villains to Happy's apartment. Electro shoots Doc Ock out of the window, and he vanishes until the end of the film. This is also a shame because he's so enjoyable to watch on screen.
Double blonde girling.
Don't know. Why does he leave? Don't know. The plot just needs him gone, so he doesn't interfere with the Spider-Man team-up later. Or the crowd, I guess. Electro and Sandman make their escape. The Lizard just blindly follows them because there was no time to write him his own motivation. I'm sure he was close enough to hear the evil speech.
Oh.
Also,
This hella is hella bad.
doing nothing for hours.
Geow!
Just left at any time. Nobody would have noticed. And to the writers, next time just don't even bother touching these characters. If this is how you're going to use them. The
Yo,
Lizard
I was just trying to check, bro. I'm not that deviant. I'm not a deviant, bro.
Falcon, you actually have a very impressive villain roster. Peter and Green Goblin have an epic, gritty fight scene. Made more impressive when you learn that Willem Dafoe does all his own stunts. With his performance in this movie, it's easy to see why so many people enjoy it. The MCU is filled to the brim with forgettable, trash villains. It is so refreshing to see one that genuinely feels dangerous for a change. This is a real villain, worthy of being.
Did she just smack me?
He doesn't need to be a world-ending, universe-crushing powerhouse to pull it off.
She smacked me across the face.
Seemingly going to kill him until May intervenes with Goblin's supposed.
Bro, who let the baddie version of Psylocke on here, bro?
As a result, holy crap.
I'm surprised the player's not distracted while using her. Oh my god, I'm getting screwed.
No, it is not a different universe, it is an adaptation. They explicitly state that the MCU is the 616 universe, the same as the comics. They set the terms and didn't deliver. If that's not meant to be the case, then we have a contradiction on our hands. And the MCU has an identity crisis that is dividing the fan base.
I'm just gonna turn right around because I don't trust this team anymore. Our best player can't even kill.
Be a bit more optimistic. It's at least better to have someone pay the finish line than to not have it at all. With great power comes great responsibility is a powerful phrase that serves as a great life lesson that defines Spider-Man's motivation. Suddenly, plot twist. May actually isn't fine at all. She collapses to the ground and dies. Wow, movie, that was pretty ballsy. I didn't think you had it in you. This scene was a little awkward though. I don't know why they had her be also some distractingly cheap CGI here and there, but regardless, this death was a major shock that I'm sure most people didn't see coming. It's a heartbreaking, real moment that the MCU desperately needs more of nowadays. No jokes, no shenanigans, just genuine tragedy. This whole sequence makes
Oh!
like an Iron Warrior.
The whole place is a minefield!
Quickly followed up by Peter watching J.J. Jameson spew slander and hatred towards him. It's classic J.J. material, but it hits a little harder this time because this disaster actually was all Spider-Man's fault, since he freed all the villains from the prison. I criticize this film because Spider-Man should definitely know better by now, but at the same time, it is still compelling to have him face his own horrific failure this way. This is what separates No Way Home from the other Phase 4 projects, in which other heroes are constantly making stupid and immoral decisions, but unlike Spider-Man here, they all seemingly get away with it free. Something else worth noting here is the tremendous amount of potential that was wasted by doing the great power, great responsibility line in this way. Since this movie loves nostalgia so much, I'll compare this to the Raimi film to explain what I mean. May says this line to Peter because he's conflicted, since his attempts to help these villains have backfired, and now he's thinking that Strange was right for wanting to just send them away all along. Thus, May tells him that since he has the power to save them, then he also has the responsibility to. If we look back at the Raimi film, Peter has hardly even become Spider-Man at this point. He is just an ignorant teen who was suddenly blessed with incredible abilities. He is short-sighted though, and only considers how to use his powers to get ahead in life. He beats up his bully, and he tries to make money by wrestling to impress his crush, all the while trying to keep his actions secret from his aunt and uncle. They notice his change in behavior and are aware of the bully incident. So Ben tries to speak to him man-to-man in an attempt to relate to Peter and help steer him on a better path. Up to this point in the film, we know that May and Ben are honest, hardworking people who want the best for Peter despite not having much to offer. However, Peter dismisses Ben's approach because he doesn't think that Ben truly understands what he's going through. Later, Peter gets stiffed on his wrestling money, so when the manager gets robbed, Peter allows this to happen as a form of revenge. That same robber later ends up shooting Uncle Ben and steals his car. Uncle Ben dies as a direct result of Peter's irresponsibility, making Ben's final conversation with Peter carry far more weight. Because if Peter would have listened to Ben the first time, then none of this would have happened. This was a deep lesson that Peter had to learn the hard way, and as a result, this lesson shaped the foundation for how he behaves as Spider-Man for the rest of his life. The way that story plays out makes this current one feel somewhat arbitrary by comparison. Peter wasn't necessarily doing anything wrong or immoral by helping these villains. He was just conducting his plans by making wildly dumb decisions. It doesn't matter if he listens to May or not, because he was still trying to be responsible here, he just acted moronically. Had he and Strange just acted more reasonably, then everything Peter did would have been justified. It would have been more compelling if Peter were the one to want to send the villains back without helping them. He would act this way because he's still scarred by the damage done to him by Mysterio, and now he just wants to shove as much trouble out of his life as possible, regardless of how irresponsible that might be. Doctor Strange would then be the one to protest against him, because he is supposed to be a wise figure. However, their debate frightens the villains, since they obviously don't want to die, and they lash out in desperation. In the process, they actually manage to free themselves. A fight ensues, but the main threats like Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Electro escape. You could also tie Doctor Strange down here, where instead of fighting Peter, he is occupied by the lesser villains like Sandman and Lizard. Or you could also task him with trying to prevent other villains from crossing over as well. Maybe there's a physical portal that he needs to constantly keep shut, and that's why he's not present for most of the film. That would also cover why no other villains are appearing, except the ones that are already here. That leaves Peter to catch and detain the other villains on his own. And because Norman encountered Aunt May earlier in the film, he goes out to find her, wanting to kill her as revenge for Peter trying to send him to his death. Peter would catch on to his plan, and their fight would play out in a similar way that it does in the actual film. But this time, May's death is tied much more closely to Peter's irresponsibility, making the great power, great responsibility line that much more meaningful. Though there still lies another problem, in that this Aunt May was not really built up to be this moral foundation in Peter's life. Sure, she would help him make tough decisions, but no more than MJ or Ned would. She comes off as more the fun aunt, even when she knows that Peter is Spider-Man. She's more so used in these films for jokes and exposition than being a mentor. This is likely because they weren't planning to give her this line until this most recent film, and it feels like they only gave her the line because she was going to die soon, not because Peter needed to hear it. As a result, May saying this line here is a lot less meaningful, especially since Peter didn't really take it to heart anyway, needing further mentoring from the other Spider-Men. The benefit of having a stretched out, intertwining story like the MCU is that you can take advantage of long-term storytelling like this, and construct massive setups and payoffs that reward people for sticking around and paying attention. When you just write these stories on the fly, with very little concern for connective tissue, then your film's potential gets a massive deflation. After that, we cut to Ned and MJ, who are concerned for Peter's safety. Ned's desire to see Peter causes him to unintentionally spark a portal, one that he's eventually able to open, since he took Doctor Strange's stolen sling ring from Peter. I thought this ability required extensive training, but whatever. Ned opens a portal that brings them Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, since evidently he's also been brought to this world and has just been wandering around this whole time. This brings up some interesting questions. If Andrew and Toby Spider-Man were running around unaccounted for, who else is here that we don't know about? And why isn't Tom Spider-Man concerned about finding them? Venom pops up in a post-credit scene. Shouldn't we want to find and cure him? Though, to be honest, euthanasia is this guy's only hope. And what about the other Spider-Men themselves? How do we know they don't also need curing? Sure, they aren't villains, but how do we know they won't also die when they return to their worlds? Fruit for thought. Now, to avoid confusion, I'll refer to the various incoming Spider-Men by different names. We'll have Tom, Andrew, and Spider-Man. Andrew Spider runs through Ned's portal and immediately removes his mask with no hesitation. Because this movie is so flip-floppy on if it actually cares about secret identities. They do some jokes together to get to know each other. They then decide to keep using the portal until it lands on Tom Spider-Man. But they only end up doing this one more time because it's really just a very on-the-nose way to introduce the other two Spider-Men into the film. Speaking of, look who it is, Tobey Maguire. And it is genuinely nice to see him back again in this role. I wish I could say the same for Andrew, but his movies were terrible. At least they make good use of him in this film. But disappointingly, Tobey also immediately exposes his identity. Come on, man. I expect that from the other two jabronis, but you're better than that. Tobey explains that he's conveniently already up to speed on the situation, and his senses are telling him to seek out Tom Spider-Man.
No, I wanna look at the robot.
Spider senses just
Wanna look at the robot.
want it to at any given moment. They locate him and
Like,
pretty
look
much
at how cool
recreate
this
an
looks,
exact
though.
scene from Into the Spider-Verse.
I don't wanna look at you, though.
Spider people.
I got some understanding of what it is. No, please don't tell me that you know what I'm going through. You wouldn't understand.
Miles, we're probably the only ones who do understand.
Man, there are too many Spider-Men these days. There's a little more depth to this one, though, since we're more familiar with these live-action ones.
Well, I got Connors. I've already cured him once, so no big deal. Well, it's no big deal. Great. Yeah.
Why is this scene so awkward? What's he doing? Now that the three Spider-Men are together, they team up to develop cures for the villains. A lot of their dialogue is spent on making references and callbacks to the other films. It's very much on the nose, but it's still charming and fun, though it's a little disappointing because we don't
I'm
get
gonna call
any
it quits here.
decisive